So you have to, we'll discuss that as well. And then, as you know, we also have the committee that has been set to look into the matter of the Chief Justice. And we know the Chief Justice, the one sworn into office, has been suspended. And we know the vexed matter. We have the acting Chief Justice now, the distinguished acting Chief Justice, Justice Bafoboni, in place. And so that committee also sets the stage for us to again have a better perspective on the matter. What would they be looking at, and who are they, the composition in itself? At least I know on top of my mind, the former Auditor General, Daniel Domelevo, strict man as well, very principled, is also part. So we'll be discussing that. And of course, Felix Kwachiofosu, who speaks for government, also holds the portfolio, or as a minister, also speaking for government, says the president has cautioned Sammy Gyamfi, and we know he's a CEO for the Gold Board as well. So we'll discuss that. So we have some of these issues to take a look at. Please, if you're watching us, make sure that we are able to do that by also watching alongside on our social media platforms. Go look out for TV3 Ghana. And straight away, I've been instructed by Shadrach Abe that always I have to go and acknowledge our great viewers who tend to be part of the viewing experience for us on TV3 New Day. And we love it when you join us, because we're always grateful. Without you, we are not in a position to be able to have the viewership as we have it. So already have Prince Nanaya York. Zilis Dwayne is watching us from the UK. I love it when the diaspora community tend to watch us. Uncle Charles Thompson, Uncle Otendene, in Abueche, try me for video call. Money ni money. I see Sagasi Vim as well. Daniel Akpaliok. And then Money Nimani is saying today should be the last time we discuss Sammy Gyamfi issue. So they should let's talk about the economy. Okay, the dollar is rising. So, but you know, Saturdays the dollar is depreciating. I've been corrected. And then also Ni Odate Mills, Vida Noshi. I know that you all live in the UK. I love it when they watch us. I don't know how come. Hey, Charlie, you guys they try. Na Afitaki, good morning to you. And then also Odilia Kingston Bisnap, a semi great guy. Ama Kokonsan, Newton Kane, Kingsley Inshrabo Fori, good morning to you. Prudential Livingston, Suraz Batong, Bra Kofi, very stubborn guy, Bra Kofi. And we have Victor Clamity as well, and PHK, Prince Henry Kofodria. Philippe Lanyo is also there. Pearl Aflakwe, I see you. Sumani is also there. Yebi. I see Ibrahim Abdul Rahman. Yao Kwenu, good morning to you. Haruna Abdul Rashid. And then all of you, I see Mr. Fiagbe also. Yao Audi. Bright Della Glover, great man. He's a medical doctor. All those are the Ketat Hospital. Thank you as well. And then I have my friend Ijabunsu watching us from Cape Coast. Now let me just introduce our guest for the morning. The distinguished, I've known her for a very long time, Rhoda Ayana. How are you? It's been a while. Why haven't you been coming? Good morning to you.
I had a slight domestic accident.
Okay.
Fractured my wrist.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
At this age, you shouldn't be fracturing. Somebody was cautioning me I shouldn't be lifting things because I've become an old man now. So
at this age, I'm not supposed to be fracturing my wrist, but I did. I ended up having to be out of the coverage area for about 6 weeks.
But you still try. You are still recovering, but you decided to come.
I am recovering, and I thought that I had to come back.
Thank you.
I was getting, all my friends were calling me.
Speedy recovery.
Thank you.
We love you so much, and thank you for always being. And working with the presidency, has been a general secretary before for the CPP. I have Nanaya Achempem Jantua, also was one time executive director for COSECA. I'm sure she's handed that portfolio to somebody else, but good morning to you, Nanaya Achempem Jantua.
How are you?
I'm well. So, we'll take a look at a number of Indians have been arrested. and so I'll start with you. And it's also because they've been illegally buying gold and trade. And we know it's a very big issue, and that's why...
They don't love me.
I love you too. I love you too. And we know that we want to make sure that we streamline the
they don't love me.
I love you.
I have to ask before you say it.
I apologize. I apologize.
It's allowed.
I apologize. I apologize. Just blasting. And so we would just want to also acknowledge that. And Robert Coleman is the Chief Executive for Wembley Sports Construction. And Grace Yowomenuje, beautiful, great lady, and intelligent one as well. Bruce Falk also watching us. And but what do you make of, you know, illegal trading of gold? People need to buy from the gold board. That's the position now. And quickly, just why do we think we need to make sure we are more stringent? This arrest is good, but we need more arrests. Is that not it?
Yes, we do. I'd like to say good morning to our cherished viewers, and a special good morning to the doctors and nurses of Nutfield Orthopedic Clinic, who did a wonderful job for me. The way I see it, I think that we are actually treading on the right side of things, wanting to take control of our own natural resources. I was happy when the president brought up this gold board idea. Having said that, I have been following the fight against galamsey, and I must say that there seems to be a lot of work going on, which is quite commendable. But I'm not very happy about a few issues, and that has to do with what happens when you are arrested for doing the illegality. Yesterday, I saw that a few people, some foreigners and some locals, were arrested, and it came out that the foreigners were allowed to go, and then the locals will be probably prosecuted in Ghana. Now, I find that very disturbing. I don't think it's deterrent enough to say that if you are a foreigner, you can go back to the comfort of your home. And if you're a Ghanaian, then it means that you have to be dealt with in this country. I think that all of them will have to be treated as criminals. Once you have been found foul of the laws of this country, you should face the courts in this country, be sentenced in this country, and sent to one of our jails. I think that would be deterring enough.
Did you serve the sentence?
Yes. And you know, there are so many...
What if we have, of course, we don't have any bilateral agreement with the Indian...
We can't have a bilateral agreement over criminality. This is something that our government has stated. Do not, we don't want you to trade in our gold. It's illegal. So if you come into our country, you must go by our laws. Once you decide to do things your way and wanting to smuggle, that's an illegality. That's a criminal act. And criminality does not have any kind of face or something that you can look at anybody. So once you are caught, you're caught. I don't see why a Chinese or an Indian or a Lebanese will be sent back to their home country. To do what? To go and say, I'm back. I think that we are not treating Ghanaians well. Our people are also doing it. And most of these expatriates are those who actually bankroll the Ghanaians. A lot of the people doing galamsey, they cannot afford to buy all those equipments. They can't. It is these same people who come in and try to get the Ghanaians involved. They buy from them as well. So why should you treat them differently? They should be treated equally. You know, and don't send them to places like in Sawam, where they are, you know, embassies can get them.
So what should we send them?
You should be sending them to places like Boko, Wa, you know.
You mean they should face harsh conditions?
Face harsh conditions. Once they
like the way it will be in Bangkok,
in
Thailand,
Bangkok, Hilton, you know,
in Cambodia and the rest,
that's
Malaysia,
it. You see, you're
Singapore.
supposed to deter people from doing it. So if you grab anyone, send the person outside to Akuse, you know, not in Sawam. Sawam is too close. Embassy staff and their relatives, once they drop at Kotoka International Airport, they get the chance to go to Sawam. No, let them go on our roads. Let them suffer on our roads to Wa. Then, when you come, they will tell you, don't go to that country again and do it because we can't come. But we are making it like you know, we are begging them, or because of bilateral engagements that we have with their countries, we are trying to sort of please them. We shouldn't. This is ours. I don't think any Ghanaian would go to China and do something and they'll say, we are sending you. Or you go and do something in Thailand and you'll be sent back. Or in Lebanon or anywhere. So the same way, let us treat them like criminals that they are. An illegality is an illegality, regardless of where you do it. So for me...
so we should be more stringent than we are.
We should be more stringent. We should be more stringent. And we should look out for those who even connive and condone with them at their various ports.
Okay. What about you? Briefly on this matter. And Engineer Samwachum also says he also loves you. And that I did wrong by not stating that. So I love you.
Tell him I love him very much. I love him dearly.
Yeah.
Everybody needs some kind of love.
I know, right? I know, right?
Now, Roland has made his position clear on the matter. So I know that you don't love me. Let me say good morning to your cherished viewers, and good morning to you and my auntie. I've missed her so much. And good morning to my friend Cookie, my darling, that my... Jericho Hour colleague.
Jericho Hour mates.
Yes. And I also say good morning to the President of the Republic of Ghana, the Chief of Staff, and the most handsome military officer, Colonel Bashir Issa. He is the MA to the Chief of Staff.
He's the most what?
Handsome military officer.
What's a controversial statement?
What's a controversial statement? When you see him, you see that he's the most handsome military officer.
It's in the eye of the beholder.
He's an officer and a gentleman.
Yes, an officer and a gentleman. He's a colonel.
Richard Gay.
Yes.
Yo.
Yeah.
And his name is Colonel Bashir Issa. And he's in our office. You see?
Colonel Bashir Issa.
Yes.
More love from Nane Ajantwa.
Yes.
They say you are handsome. I'll come and see whether you are handsome.
You'll be shocked. Even when men see them, they say this one is fine.
This guy is fine.
It's fine. So,
Madam, she's only saying it on TV. As for us wives, we don't take such statements. You know, I'm an army wife.
Okay.
So we don't take such statements like that.
That's why this CV talk.
Yes, of course.
So the point is that what these people have done. Auntie said something. He said that they are going back to their countries. Has it been established?
Yes.
Yes.
That they are taking them back?
Deporting them.
Has it been established?
The first batch will be repatriated.
Without any
And then
sentence.
the second batch will be prosecuted.
But
Because the decision was made earlier for that repatriation.
But that is wrong. I once heard the Interior Minister say that because our prisons have choked, the foreigners will be repatriated. I was thinking that it was just a suggestion that we would discuss. But I don't know if our laws, we have to look at the laws that we have against criminality. And the president also saw it as a criminality. That is why he established the gold board. So that whoever wants to engage in a gold business will go to the gold board to do whatever is necessary. So if somebody is arrested and the person is repatriated to the comfort, what are the conditions of repatriation? Are they going to be repatriated to be prosecuted in their country? Do we have a bilateral agreement between the countries that when we repatriate your citizens who have caused the crime, committed the crime, you have to continue with prosecution process?
I know we have with the U.S.
Yes, so then why are we repatriating them? To them, it's not a punishment. And you know how our country is. They are going to be in the comfort of their homes. And how can that be? That is unacceptable. I do not think that we should do that. I am saying me and I Champim Janto. I'm not
Even if the minister said that there's been a timeline, and before that timeline, all those will be repatriated. But post that timeline, we're going to have the prosecution as we have it.
No, but I'm saying
you still
that,
disagree?
Yeah, yes.
The first group has gone already.
Yes, why do we repatriate criminals? Because they have taken our laws for granted. Do you get me? And they have breached our laws. The law says, as it stands, if you want to deal in A, B, C, D, you have to go to E, F, G, H. Do you understand? So I don't understand why they should be repatriated at all. I don't understand. They should be prosecuted as a deterrent to those who will come into this country and engage in criminality. I don't see why it should be so. Do you understand me? Because all this galamsey that we are going through, most of the crimes that we go through in this country, most of it, at the bottom of it, you find that there is one foreigner or the other. Somebody faceless that we don't even know, hiding in there to propel Ghanaians to do certain things which are untoward. Then if we have this law, if it is a law, then it has to go to Parliament for it to be debated. I do not think that we can just say that because of ABCD, this is what it is. If there's a law to it, I haven't seen it, I'll go and look for it. But this is a country that is not lawless. We go by statutes and laws and our constitution, that if somebody commits a crime, it's even dictated in the laws how many years a person gets depending on the crime that they have committed. So if there is no law which says that you should deport criminals who are foreigners, then I think that we should not even start that. So it should be a proposal. And that proposal should be brought before cabinet, brought before the people of Ghana, that is Parliament, for us all to debate if that is what we are looking for. I mean, seriously, because when I commit a crime in the USA, and I'm even an American citizen who is a Ghanaian, they'll prosecute me. Sometimes they deport after prosecution. Those who are engaged in drug trafficking, and when they are arrested, they don't deport them. It's not done in any country, and we are not different from other countries. And I think that we should stay within the community of nations and do exactly what happens in these countries. Otherwise, we are opening our gates for foreigners to come in and misbehave. Because if somebody has flouted the law, no matter who it is, that is why we are saying there's nobody who is above the law. Everybody works within the law, within the parameters of the law in which we do exist. Otherwise, then it will be a jungle. And when a lion gets up, a lion eats an animal, a lion eats a deer. And we do whatever we like. It should not be so. We should have a plan to decongest our prisons. And for me, we have to look at the Non-Custodial Sentencing Act to bring it into law. That if somebody steals yam or plantain, that person should do community service.
Some of those misdemeanors.
Those misdemeanors. Because you go to the...
Like the way the bastard boys are sacrificing. We add them to them so that they go and clear the gutters.
Yeah, clear the gutters. The whole of Ghana is dirty. So non-custodial sentencing, we should look at it because 70% of the young ones in prison, I went to the prison during the campaign, very young ones from 18 to 27, they are dismissed, some pickpockets, and they give them 15 years, they are there rotting. Some of them don't even know what they have done, they didn't understand it, peer pressure. So if you want to decongest the prison, we should look at that 70% ratio and make sure that they come out and do community service. Or say that let them go for 1 month. I remember my daddy used to tell me that when you enter prison, because he was a politician, not a criminal, when you enter prison for 1 month, for the first month, if they release you, you won't go there again.
Because he experienced...
Yes, he said...
after the overthrow of Kwame Nkrumah.
Yes, and variously after that, because he can say things that the presidents will take him. So he said that after 1 month...
Your daddy was talking like you.
He was worse than me. After one month, he said if you go there after 1 month, you wouldn't want to go there again. So we have to have some plan, some structures that will ensure that we don't have too many people in our prisons.
What about, for example, the DVLA being led by Logas, as Julius Nikwekote, already indicating that excavators will be registered at the port so that they can do proper tracking? Because at the end of the day, you do agree what the narrative is, that it's these foreigners who fund, alongside their Ghanaian partners, the illegal mining activities, and so flout the regulations. That's also a good initiative, isn't it?
Yes, a good initiative, but as I said, they should find out what these excavators are coming to do in the country so that it can be monitored. It's not just the registration. Because when you register the excavator and it is going to do something else, how are you going to monitor? So you need to have a tracking system that will track them all the way, whether they are going into illegal mining or they are going to do something else. So I believe there is a good initiative, but you should go further and have a tracking secretariat or some bureau that will be, maybe it will be with the Signals Bureau or with the BNI or any of the security agencies, so that it is tracked well and properly. Not just the registration, but tracked well and properly, so that we know the owners of these excavators and what they are coming to do in the country.
Okay.
It is very, very key.
Okay.
I just want to reassure Auntie here that Colonel Bashiru is my daughter's husband. The wife is like my daughter.
Oh,
So
daughter's husband.
Yes, yeah,
So
don't be
we are on
afraid.
safe grounds.
Don't be afraid.
I think we all understood it, but the way you're doing the narration and brought this matter back.
Because we started talking love now, and then this matter came inside.
no.
But anyway.
I just want to tell Nanaya that I watched a clip, and I think there was this issue of tracking, and it came out that they had gotten equipment for tracking, so they'll be tracking each and every excavator to know exactly where they are. They're going to give them some form of identification, and at any time they will know where an excavator.
So the DVL, according to the chief executive, that's Julius Logas Nikwe Kote, says the tracking system is done by the is going to be done by the Minerals Commission. Is done.
Minerals Commission.
And then it will now be done at the port after DVLA registration. So that's the difference now. So they'll then put. So please
go back. It will be done.
So the tracking system authorized by the Minerals Commission, supervised, etc.
Is it now being put in place, or it was in place before?
It will now be done at the port. Now being put in place. Okay. So now be done at the ports, and then the registration done subsequent to that as well. And I think that's a good thing as well. But
that's fine.
There's an important issue that has been raging on, and it looks like the president has brought a finality to it after getting advice.
Can I just say something?
Yes, please.
On the subject matter. I think that we somehow we are forgetting. When I remember Abrowan Ninkran.
Who's that?
Okay, you see, you're asking where is that? Now, this was a settlement that was demolished, and all they're doing is galamsey. Okay, about when the task force went in there, they were expecting about 2,000 people, and apparently they got about 10,000 people. And these people were made up of ECOWAS indigents from Guinea, Mali, some of them from all manner of places. It is important that we open up and start looking at other ECOWAS citizens and how we can couch either a bill, a law, stipulating what we can do with them. Because at the end of the day, our borders are so porous. If you send them, they come back through Aflao, through Sankasi, through other places. We have to find a way. With the other expatriates coming from the diaspora, they go through our ports. You can get them. But these are people who go through all manner of areas. So this is something that I think that the Gold Board must also be looking at. Those people who can just come from the ECOWAS
That one is region. Immigration.
Yes, immigration.
I think immigration should... We should strengthen all our borders.
Yeah, because the borders are too porous.
All right. Let's come on the subject of Sami Jemfi and the caution that has been issued now by the president.
We have finished caution. Why are you coming to talk about it?
But
2 minutes.
But yes, so what then are the examples that have been set with this action taken by the president?
I don't know what the crime was.
No crime was committed.
Yes. I don't know what the crime was because, you see, first and foremost, the only thing that, for me, watching from my bed was, he gave dollars. If he had given cedis, I'm sure Ghanaians wouldn't have been saying much, apart from the grassroots of NDC, who are probably not happy because it went to Agrada. That's the way I see it. But I look at it and I say, look, everybody is spending dollars anyway. We all spend dollars. So what exactly did Sami do? For me, that is the question I ask myself. Is it that it was an offense to gift somebody money? I think we were just flogging this thing overboard. If he had been in his office, sitting by his, table and doling out dollars, I would be very worried. But I listened to Lawyer Kwebu, and he says he was in his private space, in his car. Probably if you look in my bag, you'll find $1 or $2. And I could gift somebody $1 or $2. Is it wrong? This country, when we are quoting, governments, when they are quoting in dollars. If you don't want us to spend dollars, don't quote in dollars. You understand? Everybody else is spending dollars. So for the opposition to think that probably Sami has done something untoward, I think that is not something that they have.
So you say that he's been over-vilified?
Yes, I think so. I think
for an action that ideally is trivial. It's an everyday practice.
It's an everyday practice. I mean, we are people that give. Everybody gives. Probably he didn't have any cities, so he decided I have dollars. Go and, what are the duties of forex bureaus? You can take your dollar, go into a bank and change it. If you want to go to a forex bureau, you go and change it. So I think we just overflogged it. Maybe because he's Sami Gyamfi, honestly. So the president pardoning him and cautioning him, I think it's in the right order. This was not one for sacking him or suspending him. I don't think so. What do you make of the press conferences that has been organized? Is it because of the role he played or has been playing in the NDC? Sami is a thorn in the MPP's flesh. So any little thing they would want to make a whole lot of stories. And I would like to ask every single one of those people who sat in that press conference whether they don't have dollars in their wardrobes. Every single one of them. From Kabiru to whoever who were sitting there talking about Sami having, giving out dollars and stuff. Everybody in the political realm has dealt with dollars. Let's not kid ourselves. Let's not sit and pretend and show some form of hypocrisy as if having dollars is something that is out of this place. Look, I would want to tell the MPP that due to bad governance and mismanagement of the economy, all of us ended up changing our cedis to dollars to protect ourselves. To hedge? Yes. We all did it. Because you cannot run a business where today you go and, the next day the price is up, the next day, and all that. So we were all hedging our cedis. Thank God it's going down. They must be clapping for the NDC and not trying to vilify somebody for giving out the dollars. You understand? So as for the MPP coming up and talking about all this, they're just talking. They messed up. They messed up, and everyone in this country decided to do dollar. The economy was dollarized, and that's it. We're trying to get out of it. I'm so proud to think that today my city is doing well. So the city is appreciating, and then... Yeah, the city is appreciating. That's a good phenomenon, because even to the point that even the Ghana Union of Traders Association has now formally called on its members and the entire membership of the trading public to make sure that they conform. Yeah, a good thing. It's two ways. For some of us who deal with, who probably have dealings with dollars because you probably have to import stuff, if you've already imported, too bad, you've already used 16 to $1 to import those things. But let's just say that if they are able to reduce the products that are on the market, they will be able to make profits. Because the same way that when it goes up, they kind of raise the prices, they should be able to, when it comes down, put down the prices. So for me now, I can only say that we are moving on with what we ought to be doing. It's unfortunate that people are thinking otherwise. Like if you have the dollar, diasporans are saying, look, if I gave my family maybe $100, that was about 1,600 cedis. And now if I give my family $100, it's about 1,200 or 1,300. And it seems like it's not enough. True. But if things are reduced, it will come back to the same thing. Because if you went to the market with 1,600, when the dollar was 16 cedis. And if they reduce stuff, and you can go to the market with 1,200 and still buy the same quantum of stuff, then I think that you haven't lost anything. But we still will hope that the government will at least keep it at a certain level.
I have this observation that has been made by one of our leading statesmen, and he said that Agrada caused this whole phenomenon by flaunting money given to you after you beg for it in the clear view of the public. If she hadn't done that, nobody would have raised a finger. Secondly, you could clearly see that Sami's back was towards the camera. He didn't know anyone was even filming him at all. If he knew, he wouldn't have done that. It's no big deal at all. It's only just that a caution needs now to go through the ranks of those appointed into public office. However, this is no big news at all.
No, it's not.
That said, what would be your caution then if this is the reaction that seems to be mixed reaction among the public, even whether it's within the NDC or even because, for example, Usu Bempa, NS Usu Bempa, that's Abua Papong, aka, even says that there's no big deal at all. I mean, many people within the sphere says this is nothing at all, even within the, but they said the personality who the money was given just didn't send the signals there. So what caution would you give?
So I just want to say that all public officers should be mindful, they should be circumspect in their dealings with people, and as much as possible, they should try to avoid this kind of situation. I'm sure that Sami, everyone says he's a giver. I have not experienced his giving, but people say that he's a giver. I'm sure that on hindsight, he might have said, well, it's unfortunate I had to give it to this woman. But you see, we tend to forget that in politics, sometimes you behave in a certain way towards someone you perceive to be an enemy, and that person eventually becomes your friend. There have been people who have benefited from the NDC, who were from the MPP, who have turned around and belong to the MPP, to the NDC. So it just goes to follow that sometimes, even though Agrada doesn't come across like that person that needed to be helped by Sami, it could also have turned Agrada's thinking of the NDC into a positive thought. This is how I see it. But I just think that from going forward, everyone should be careful of how they handle our money, or even their own money, because Ghanaians are beginning to think that everybody is poor. So even if you have the money and you give it to anybody, they must question where it's coming from. So for public office holders, I expect them from now on to be very, very, very careful, extra careful. Okay.
Do you think that this whole issue has been blown out of proportion, and for good reason or not?
Of course. I forgot. I have to say good morning to my friend Juliana Amwako. Otherwise, today I will not leave.
Juliana Amwako. Okay.
A lawyer, Juliana Amwako.
Lawyer Julie.
Yes, a member of the NDC Pro Forum team.
Okay.
Me, I don't understand. IMF, when they are giving us money, how do they quote it in? The money they gave us.
USD, or if it's coming from the European Union.
All the grants that they are giving us.
Even the Japanese, they give us in yen.
So why are we talking? So why don't we tell them to change it into CDs before we collect it? Besides, Sami Jenfi, he collects salary. I believe maybe he has been paid somewhat. I don't know.
Officially hasn't been paid
officially
yet.
Hasn't been paid.
Because, you have to go through the processes of accountant general and having...
So the point is that what is wrong if he's holding dollars? How many people don't have dollars? At least Sami Jenfi decided to give. Some people decided to hide. Sami Jenfi decided to give. Some people decided to hide.
What about the aesthetics?
Under their beds, in their homes.
In Politans.
In Politans, wherever. They decided to hide, and Sami Jenfi has given.
In wells. Dug out wells in their homes. In garages.
Sami Jenfi has given, and now we are making noise about the giver. I am saying that this is an orchestrated plan by the enemies of Sami Jenfi.
I don't understand.
I'm telling you. So they used, what is her name, whatever her name is. They Agrada. How can we even associate with Tender and Lightning? Tender and Lightning you don't associate with tender and lightning.
Agrada.
Yes, it's tender and lightning.
Agrada.
Yes, when a human being comes into contact with tender and lightning, it's death. It's death. She was used. Why should anybody give you money and you video it? Okay, after you videoed it, maybe for your own glorification. Then who sent it?
And put it on social media.
And put it on social media.
And for what intent you say?
Yes, that is what I'm saying, that who sent it? Who videoed it? I want to know who did that. It was an orchestrated plan.
Orchestration?
Yes, against Sami Jemfi. They know Sami has a good heart. If you ask him for money, he will give you. I also want to find out who was with Sami Jemfi in his car. Who and who were there? That they knew that there was dollars in Sami Jemfi's car and that he might give dollars. Who was there? This is a plan against Sami. But it will not work. It will not stand. He has not committed any crime whatsoever. Where in our statutes, even in the code of conduct, it says that when we collect, it didn't say when we give. It said when we collect, we should declare. When there's a conflict of interest, you should declare. When you are giving, to there conflict of interest when you are giving. The code, is there any conflict of interest when you are giving somebody a gift? Has Sami breached any code? Me, I believe there shouldn't have been a caution. It should have been an advice. You get him that, oh, Sami, be careful. Because caution is strong, but that is what it is. That is what the code says. That the first time you are cautioned, then it goes on and it goes and it goes on. What did Sami do wrong that everybody is on Sami? What did he do wrong? So if he gave somebody the dollar, wouldn't they have collected? Okay, maybe as Auntie said, because it was for Agrada and it didn't come to maybe his own people. Yes, that one, I mean, they are very unhappy about it. But the point is that he has asked for forgiveness and it spreads across everybody, all of us, that he's sorry. It takes a man of valor, a valiant man, a courageous man, to come to that level to say, I am sorry. Sami has shown maturity. For him to even speak to Agrada, me, I'm telling you, if I saw Agrada, I wouldn't speak to her.
You bypass her?
Of course.
Agrada?
Yes. How can I be in contact with lightning? You want me to bend? What is the Agrada is lightning?
She will take you on.
But she's not my friend. Should she be my friend? If I see her and I pass her, but she's not my friend. But Sami was magnanimous enough to be nice to her in spite of her insults against His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And gave the person, why do you go and video it? Why do you send it viral? Who sent it viral? If it's not an orchestration, if it's not some plot and ploy to ensure that Sami is disgraced.
So you're saying that, yes, there was an intent.
Yes.
To video.
Which was well orchestrated.
You could have kept the video on your phone.
You kept it on your phone.
So then the question is, how did it get to social media?
That is the point. Who sent it?
That's why you're drawing the line.
Yes, who was the first person who received that video? National security should investigate, because you see, we are all at risk. We cannot stop giving money to foot soldiers. We cannot stop giving money to Ghanaians, those who are in need. We can't stop. That's me every time when I'm in traffic and I'm coming. I talk to people on the road, and those who are in need, I give. Sometimes I've even prompted that I should give. Yesterday I was prompted. I couldn't give because I wasn't too sure who was going to film me.
I don't understand.
Yes, because you see, this is running into, because iniquity abounds, the heart of men runneth cold, and it is in the Bible. So because of this kind of iniquity, our hearts might run cold, and those who need help, we might not be able to help them. We should not entertain this kind of thing whatsoever. The young man is working and doing very well because he gave dollars.
Are you saying that because of the way he's been vilified and a deliberate target at his personality for the action he's undertaking, even the current appointees and then future appointees could be deterred.
Yes, I am using myself. I'm not using anybody. Even myself, when I'm coming into town, I see people. Sometimes I'm traffic, and I give them money
by way of empathy.
Yeah, by way of empathy. I feel that hey, this person doesn't look too good. This person, and I give money. But now I'm careful. You see, because the MPP, they have not forgiven NDC for losing this power.
No, I don't understand. I
am telling you the truth. They have not. Look at how they have jumped on it. Press conference here. They say, "You, this boy, what is his name? My young cousin, something, Nana B. You have done things as chairman under your watch and national service. There were a lot of corrupt things going on, and you can go and do press conference against Sammy Jemfi. Has Sammy Jemfi stolen anybody's money? Has he been caught stealing? Has he taken money? Is he corrupt? Has he taken money from anybody? Has he taken money from anybody? Because if it is not an orchestration, immediately it came. The MPP just started press conference after press conference. You see, those people, they are lucky. If they were going to Yoko in the morning, CID in the evening, BNI in the night, they would not be sitting down doing press conferences.
You are saying that?
Yes. They are being
that there are too many scandals.
Too many
that should have been pursued by Yoko, FIC,
the fact that they
NIB,
all of them. The fact
is that what you are saying?
I am saying the fact that they even destroyed the very fabric of this nation is a crime in itself. The fact that they were not able to manage this, when you read the Constitution in itself, it is wrong. We should ask them what they did to this nation. How they brought this nation so low that the dollar was a CD to 17 CDs. We never knew that in our wildest imagination that our CD can appreciate against the dollar. Do you get me? So because they are free, that's how they can be doing this. Look, in 2017, I've said it and I'll say it again. Do you know the number of people who were going to BNI, Yoko, CID every day?
The beginning of the administration?
Yes.
By January, February, March.
April.
Yes.
This month.
2017.
But you were not in government.
I was not. Yes, but because I used to speak.
Yes, I'm telling you.
And you were at BNI.
I was BNI Yoko CID.
I was called on a Sunday.
Triangle.
Triangle. I am telling. I met people there. I'm not joking. This one is not hearsay. I'm saying it myself. I've said it severally. So if they were in the same state, they won't have time. Those days, who will have time to go and do press conference? Because in the morning you are reporting, in the afternoon you are reporting, in the evening you are reporting.
You are saying the President John Dramani Mahama is even lenient?
He's being too nice.
Is that what you're saying?
Because he's a gentleman. He says, I've said that you should give me a little of his power. I've said it on another station, just a little. Because if they were going round and being accountable for their deeds, they will not be talking about Sammy Jemfi, who has his money and he decided to keep the money in dollars because of your bad governance. Because of your bad governance, he decided to keep the money and protect his investment. And he's giving the money to your own person. Agrada, is it not MPP? Is she not? Agrada, is she not MPP? You cannot feed your own. Somebody is feeding her for you. You are coming to make noise. If they were feeding Agrada, will she go begging for money? I'm asking you. You cannot feed your own. Somebody is feeding her. Then you are coming to make noise. If your child is hungry and the neighbor gives your child food, say don't eat. Meanwhile, the child is hungry. Agrada is one of their own because she insulted His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. It is there, social media all over the place. She even said that if His Excellency John Mahama wins, then it means that she hasn't got a God that she's worshipping.
She said that?
It is there.
Agrada.
The lightning. She said it. She said it. And MPP, you can't feed her. And Sammy Jemfi is being magnanimous enough to feed her because she needs money. And that she even grabbed everything. Sammy was going to give her a certain amount. She grabbed everything from Sammy. And you are doing press conference and wanting Sammy to what? To be sacked. Nobody is going to sack Sammy. Sammy is working very hard. And in the past, he has worked hard. But for me, it is good that it happened because it's a caution to all of us. The only thing is that people are going to be hungry. So if you see anybody who has the tendency of MPP,
so who be na say no who am mobile crowd man.
If you have the person has the blood of MPP small, don't go close. And for those who are in need, we will look after them, find a nice way of doing it. You don't go doing it publicly because you don't know. But the MPP, if they are hungry, we should let them go hungry. Because Agra that was in need. You see, it doesn't matter whether a person is rich or not. So far as that person is able to summon some courage and say that, Roland, help me, I need money. It means at that point the person is in need. And Sammy met a need. Why go video him? Why? What was the intention? What were you thinking? Is it the same way that Honorable Muntaka gave her a complimentary card? And she went on social media showing it to everybody that this is her license.
It wasn't just her.
Yes, she gave to all of them. Yes. Yes. Do you understand me? So what is it? Granted that you see, if Sammy was relieved of his post, what would have Agra? How would she have felt? That somebody helped you, and because of your indiscretion and because of your intent, the person lost the position. A young man with so much promise for the future, you would have just destroyed a young man just because he fulfilled a need that you requested. Me, I don't even know what to say. And the MPP is so happy dancing around.
You're saying that there are scandals that should have been followed.
But I am even surprised.
And that the president is even soft, lenient.
I am even surprised they can speak in this nation. I am even surprised that they can go and do press conference. I thought that every press conference they did, they should say, Ghana, we are sorry. Every press conference they did, they should say, Ghana, we are sorry. That is all. They should go on their knees and beg Ghanaians for the trouble, the slavery that they put us through, the oppression that they put us through. Thank God we've been able to resist them. And today, we are where we are. We have a very good president. We have a gentleman who is the president, a nice person, somebody who thinks about Ghana and see everybody, but Gayemia.
And Rodalyn, that's because it's even the US dollar, you find that the city is even doing well against the US dollar. Yes. The criticism from the opposition is that it's, is it trade war? We had Russia-Ukraine war and trade war. And it looks like the government is not being credited, but the question is, would you say they are justified or not justified?
You know, the MPP...
Because the city today, Chanda, what's the city today currently? 12 points against the US dollar.
The MPP has decided to misinform and disinform Ghanaians on everything. It just shows the unpatriotic nature of the Dankwa Buzia tradition. I just don't understand where it says that because of a trade war between China and the USA, it's so affected us that the US dollar is doing well. Next door, in Nigeria, go and look at it. The US dollar is going up against the Naira. All other currencies around are not actually affected because of that. It's only Ghana that it's being affected. They were the same people who told us because of Russia-Ukraine war, we should keep quiet because everything else, oil prices were going up, including food prices were going up, and it was all because of a war. Today, somebody else is doing the job that you couldn't do. You come and take a dollar at 5.7, you bring it up to between 16 and 17 when you're leaving. Someone within 4 months has brought it to almost 12. And instead of you saying, well done, you decide to ridicule. You decide to say all sorts of things because you feel like it should have been you. Anything good is them. Meanwhile, for 8 years, we gave you 8 solid years, and you brought us back to the pits, a $58 million pit. That's all you did for us. 8 years. The MPP left government, and all we hear is debts in every public sector. Yes. Even in a GIHOC which produces alcohol, we lost.
You mean a highly sought-after product?
Oh, a highly sought-after product. A product that in every village, that is the one business that if you're looking for someone to go and borrow money from, you go to the Akwateshi bar, you will get some money because everybody goes there for a shot before food. Meanwhile, this same person was able to sit there and even the managing director of GIHOC was able to sit there and even refuse to let his workers go on a demonstration. We were made to believe that everything was going well. Today, they say we are having doom, so who caused them? When you decide not to pay bills, you decide not to pay contractors, you decide not to pay anyone, but just sit. Sometimes I just sit and I ask myself, what at all were they doing? Because the first time, for the first 4 years, we had 125 ministers. 125. And Roland, when we were in school, growing up, we knew every minister. Even as I sit today, as a young person, I can remember that in 1969, the Minister for Rural Government, what was Eukudaku? Like you can remember names of people.
Obeda Samuel, Minister for Foreign Affairs.
But today, when MPP came in 2017, you can't even remember 125. We didn't see any change. There was no change. Positive change, no. And now we are beginning to pick up the pieces. All that we need from them is what? Words of encouragement, and at least for them to say that, well done. We are getting there. As Ghanaians,
you think all they are doing is just politicking?
All they are doing is politicking. All they are doing is politicking. Within 120 days, you come and say they have failed. The people are crying. Who is crying? Have you gone somewhere and they say they are crying? I just sit back and I ask myself, aren't they ashamed of themselves? They should sit. I am very sure that they need time to sit, watch things unfold, and then advise themselves not to talk too much. Because the next time they start talking negativities, somebody might hit them in the head when they go to the markets. It's not right. You are Ghanaians. As Ghanaians, when things are going well, you should say that it's going well. If it's not going well, say it. But you don't sit and everything that the government is doing is bad. That is not what it means to be in opposition. If you were doing something good, we'll say that you're doing something good. But when things are going right, as patriotic citizens, acknowledge it. Say that it is good. I'm not surprised, though, because they are the ones who have got, allegedly, the dollars in polytanks, in dug out wells. They are the ones who got the dollars that have become beans because it's going down. So they are counting their losses. Who got the dollars that have become beans because it's going down. And I'm sure this story. So definitely, they will continue to say that the government is not doing well. They will continue to say that it's because of China, US tariff wars. They will continue to say all manner of things. But I suppose this government is focused. We are focused enough as a country to move ahead without them.
Nania, CD is appreciating. The criticism is that there's the tariff war. Trump is high on alert with his the incremental tariffs and the stiff relationship he's had with his major trading partners, and then the supply chain country we know across the world being China, etc. So perhaps it's nothing that...
Government is just being prudent. Government is not wasting money. You get unnecessary spending. Government is not doing that. And I also believe that there has been some trust in our currency. And maybe the ones they have hidden under their beds, they've started using it. We are not too sure. Maybe the one in the polytanks, they've noticed that they can't keep it for long. Because once it changes color, then you are in trouble. So maybe they can't. So
why do you think that Atoforsen and government is not being credited by the opposition?
But if you have done abysmally badly, use the words I use, abysmally badly, is not correct. But I mean, it means that you didn't do anything, and your neighbor is doing well. Do you think that you credit that neighbor? MPP still they are in some withdrawal mode.
They are still in denial.
They are in denial, withdrawal symptoms. How warm? Do you get me? They have just they took Ghanaians for granted, and His Excellency Mahama is taking Ghanaians seriously to make sure that this country is run properly and our economy is robust and sound. That is the difference. They are not able to accept that somebody can do it better. That is all. This one is envy. Clear envy. Green-eyed monster. That is killing them. Roland is envy. Green-eyed monster. That is killing them. Because otherwise you are in this nation. If you mean well for Ghanaians, why should you be criticizing the fact that our city is becoming stronger? Who will not clap and appreciate it, no matter what? Meanwhile, Fenyo Makin will get up and say that it is nation building, all for one, one for all. This country is important. But now that Ghanaians are what? Are reaping the benefits of the good policies of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, you said that it is not right. It is somebody, because of somebody's policies, because of somebody's moves. That is why it is happening like that. In their case, they said Russia-Ukraine war, external shocks. In this case, we are saying that His Excellency Mahama and the team has done absolutely well. We've been prudent. You don't spend money anyhow. Do you get me? You only spend money. You see, those days, any time that this IMF money hits our account, they will mop it up, change it, and you don't have any impact. They will mop it up by themselves. These people have done so many horrible things. They should rather keep quiet. We need some duct tape for them, so that we put a duct tape across their mouth. We don't want to hear them anymore. We don't want to hear them.
We are a political party of public interest.
The political party that is breaking up. They are breaking up into smithereens.
Into what?
Into smithereens.
Smithereens.
Yes. They are crashing. Very soon they will be grounded into powder. There is a threat of another party coming out of the party. They haven't heard. You see, look at the kind of numbers they have in Parliament, and they are always making noise. They are always making noise. Roland, so I'm saying that whether they are envious, whether they are jealous, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and his team are on the right trajectory of development, of empowerment, of economy rebound and economic reshaping and resetting in this nation. Ghana will be great. Ghana will grow again. Ghana will be prosperous. Ghanaians will be happy. No Ghanaian will go home hungry. In no time, you see food. You see the country will prosper.
All right, I have a couple of messages. I have Bonti Benjamin. Bonti Benjamin, good morning to you. His wife is celebrating the birthday. Gloria says, happy birthday to you, my love. Bonti Benjamin, you're enjoying it. Okay. So the comment is Nanaya Janto attacking the MPP for doing his job as the biggest opposition party. Members of the party, not taxpayers, deserve to scrutinize government and its appointees to ensure that resources are not raped to death. And then we have Bruce Fokwo as well, who has sent us messages. Says, my concern lies with the individual. So, but the next subject matter is about, we're told, the committee that has been set up to look into the subject matter of the suspended Chief Justice. They are chairing a Justice of the Supreme Court, Gabriel Scott Poaman, the Justice of the Supreme Court as well, Samuel Kwame Adebwesi-Du, the former Auditor General, Daniel Yao Domelevo, from the Ghana Armed Forces, Major Flora Dalugo, Associate Professor, University of Ghana, Professor James.
That's my professor.
Jisa. Yeah. And, well, it means that the stage is set. What are the implications? How would they work? What likely are going to be the outcomes? What will be the terms of references they'll be taking a look at? Mr. Asansari, former director for Ghana's law school, so you know, Ghana School of Law are the appropriate name, but also leads and has founded and administers one of the biggest law faculties in Ghana, Mount Crest. They've produced many lawyers, distinguished lawyers as well. He's a regular contributor to public discourse on such matters. He's on the line. Good morning to you, Mr. Sari.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Great to have you once again. Now that the committee, 5-member committees begin their hearing, what does it mean? What are the vexed matters they'll be looking at, etc., having a recourse to what has transpired in relation to the suspended Chief Justice?
Thank you very much. Under Article 146(6), the committee has been appointed by the President. Now, by virtue of Article 146, Clause 7, the committee shall inquire into the petition. So this morning begins the inquiry. Like the committee shall inquire into the petition and then, in pursuance thereof, recommend to the President whether the Chief Justice ought to be removed from office. The interesting thing is that the proceedings of this committee shall be held in camera. So it is not open, to the glare for the public. And it is for good reason. So we are dealing, with one of the strong pillars of our democracy, the Chief Justice. Therefore, there are certain matters that, will not have to be in the public domain, but, for the years of the members of the committee hearing the petition. So they are commencing their inquiry this morning. And because it is an inquiry, they will be legally or constitutionally obliged to go by the petition. And here, the petition may be taken as the statement in writing whereby the petitioner or the petitioners have set out in detail the facts supported by the necessary documents on which the petitioner or the petitioners claim that the Chief Justice has misconducted herself. So it is not an easy matter. It's, to lend credibility to the whole inquiry, they have to be guided, by the Wednesday principle. And that means that if the petition does not contain or measure up to legal standards, then it makes the work of the committee lighter. On the other hand, if the facts are credible, with the support of documents or exhibits, then, it makes their work judicially, sound. Because at the end of the inquiry, they are to return a finding of whether or not the petitions do disclose a prima facie case.
Okay. Why do we need, let's say, a former Auditor General and some of those individuals in there, apart from, of course, we know what the Constitution says in 146 in terms of the composition. Well, is it at the discretion of the President or as a result of recommendation from the Council of State?
Hello?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
The question again.
Yeah, so we know what the Constitution says in relation to the composition of the membership of the committee. Now, for this specific committee, we have, for example, somebody from the Ghana Armed Forces. We also have a former Auditor General, and of course, we also have somebody who is in academia as well. But we know the composition of the committee, the individuals who are supposed to make that up. But you look at this very one, why do we need, for example, a former Auditor General, etc.? Is it because of the content of the petition, or it's again the discretion of the President?
Well, under Article 146, Clause 9, the President shall, in each case, act in accordance with the recommendations of the committee. And under Article 146, 6, it is provided that the President shall, acting in consultation with the Council of State, appoint a committee consisting of 2 justices of the Supreme Court. So we have 2 justices of the Supreme Court. Then it goes on to provide that one of whom shall be appointed chairman by the President. And the President has done that, so he has acted in accordance with the Constitution. Then he says 3 other persons. Okay. Now, these 3 other persons can be chosen, from any sector of the society, provided that they are not members of the Council of State, nor members of Parliament, nor lawyers. And so you have mentioned, for instance, one from the armed forces, another from the audit service and all that. So again, the President has acted in accordance with the Constitution. So unless anyone, can raise an eyebrow that, one or 2 of the members are lawyers or members of the Council of State, then the President would have contravened provisions of the Constitution. So whether a person is Auditor General or Controller and Accountant General or the Commander of the Armed Forces, or it's neither here nor there, the key words are that they shall not be members of the Council of State, nor members of Parliament, nor lawyers. So long as, or in as much as we have 2 justices of the Supreme Court, one of whom has been appointed chairman, and the 3 other members come from the sector within which they shall be selected from, there's no problem.
Mr. Ansasari, thank you so much for the good education. I guess it gives us the foundation to then continue with the discussion. He is a former director, the Ghana School of Law. It's the foremost, the only training institution for lawyers. I mean, before you get certificated, though. But, Madam Ayana, that's why I ask you the question. Before today, there have been a lot of criticism against the President for the action he took, transitioning the petition or petitions to the Council of State. Then a number of court processes, criticism, press conferences, etc. Really, do you think, or what are your observations about those actions before today, especially towards the President, the decisions he made in relation to this subject matter, and then also the public opinion about the Chief Justice and her utterances in public, etc.?
Roland,
Ma.
I don't know if President Mahama has breached any constitutional rules. I think he's gone by the book. And when I remember quite well that this question of 5070, when it started, even Kandapa.
In relation to the rulings from the court.
Yes. In relation to the rulings from the courts, Kandapa said it, that sometimes it gets uncomfortable and it looks like everything is going in their favor. At that time, the NPP didn't have anything to say. They didn't say that the woman was doing something wrong. As it stands now, I think that the president has not gone against the Constitution. It's within his limits, within his rights to do what he's doing. And he's not even involved in this whole issue. It's been sent to the Council of State. The Council of State has ruled, yes, there's a prima facie case. What else do they want the president to do? Public opinion is of the view that the CJ has to face the panel. I don't think Ghanaians, or majority of Ghanaians, are against the CJ going to face the panel that is going to decide as to whether she's going to stay or she's going to go. But if I were her even, I would have gone long ago. I would have left. Because when you are working with people and the chief of the group says, I don't feel comfortable, or behaves in a way that makes you feel like he's not comfortable working with me, it's better to go. We're in this country when various court cases came up, and the way they were dealt with was such that a lot of people had problems with them. I have sat here and condemned the way the Chief Justice was behaving. Her unilateral way of doing things, even when there was a system of automation which could have prevented the 70s and the 50s, which could have at least brought out judges without her even having the authority to choose, to pick and choose the ones that she wants to use. But it fell on deaf ears. She still went ahead, and she was handpicking people who should sit on cases. And if you've ever had a court case before, the judge is one person that you're looking at. Who's going to be that judge that's going to sit there and listen to my case?
I don't understand that.
I'm saying, when you are the authority that can handpick, and the public perception is that you are belonging to the ruling party, or you are friends with the ruling party, and you have behaved in ways that have given credence to that fact, then definitely people begin to wonder whether they would have a chance of winning any case when they go to court. And that was how NDC was feeling. NDC felt that even when we have a case, this woman doesn't give us. Probably she doesn't empanel the judges that would look at the merits of the case. But all cases were being looked at politically, and somehow it was always against the opposition. Madame Gertrude Tokono, I don't think she's a bad person. But I think that she allowed herself to be used by the government. That even if she was a party off, she should have advised herself that wearing the cap of Chief Justice meant that she should be neutral, and she should treat all of us equally, and make sure that Ghanaians get the kind of cases that, they get the kind of results that they would trust and believe in. Somehow, Ghanaians lost trust in her, lost favor, and this is where she's gotten herself. So, as we sit back today, we're sitting, we're hoping that she'll have a fair trial. They would be prudent in all their dealings with her. And whatever comes, let it be. Yes, if she has to go, she has to go. But if it's me, I would have gone.
I don't understand. You are going.
Yeah, I would have left. I would have resigned. Because I'm looking at this situation. Roland, if she resigns today, she goes with all her entitlements and the respect that society will have for her. And then we would all say that, oh, she didn't do it. Maybe she wasn't like this. Maybe she wasn't like that because she has resigned. She has gone. Today, she's going to open the Pandora box. From today, it's going to be like that. You're going to be asked questions. You're going to say all sorts of things. People are going to ask you questions. And sometimes, you never know what somebody is going to ask you. And it might come out not in the type of way and manner that you would want. So you might embarrass yourself. So why don't you say that, look, it looks like people don't want, this particular government doesn't want to work with me, and it's from this. We've had clips, facial expressions, enough to tell somebody that you are looking at somebody with disdain, with disgust.
Facial expressions?
Yes, facial expressions, you know. Some of those clips.
Are you referring to that Pentecost Convention event?
Where that look. Even if you give it to a small boy, the person was now, oh, mommy, where are they? Mama, why are they? You understand? And then the speed. Where I lost it was when we had the stalemate in Parliament. And Honourable Afenyo Markins went straight to CJ. And within, what, hours or whatever, there was a result.
You mean
judgment.
On the related matter of
on the related matter of the
members,
speaker, the Speaker of Parliament, the minority majority, the ruling on that issue, the speed with which this.
You think it created a negative perception or even entrenched it?
It entrenched my feeling that no, this woman is she's skewed towards the MPP. You know how many cases are at the Supreme Court?
I don't understand.
Look, we even have one. The CPP, in fact, Professor Akosa and 5 others of the CPP. We've been in court. Our case is at the Supreme Court since 20...
What's the case about?
Ghana Telecom. It's been there.
Since
2017 also. And it's still
Professor
there.
Akosa is... the distinguished pathologist?
The distinguished pathologist and 5 others.
Of Ensign College's medical school?
Exactly. It's still there.
I see.
Yet, certain political cases just, you just find that, this woman seems to be having a game plan. And it's not just her. It even started long before. I think that we have to find ways and means of selecting our CJs so that we don't think that they are being biased or they are being skewed towards any political.
You mean more independent than what the Constitution states? We need an amendment.
We need an amendment. We need to be able to sit together and decide how we are going to do that. Because, you see, even if she goes and another person comes, that person is going to be seen as an NDC CJ, even though it might not be the same thing.
In 2022, the specific matter of Albert Kandakpa and what he said was at the workshop for justices or judges. And he said, injustice occasioned as a result of the absence of an effective justice delivery system or delayed justice or biased justice is certainly a threat to national security. At the time he was National Security Minister.
Biased justice.
And then he continues to say, if the interpretation of the law is tilted in our favor all the time, and he was talking in relation to government at the time, people will start accusing the judiciary and will not have the confidence that they need.
They did, yes.
But he has said everything.
Why do you think that there seems to be this perception, particularly in relation to the Chief Justice?
This particular
Yeah, because of what she's going through. And public opinion doesn't seem to be on the side.
What is she going to do? I don't understand you. What is she going to?
There's a petition
I heard about what is wrong with the petition. There was a petition against Charlotte Osei. And she was removed. So what is wrong? What is special about this one? This woman only smiled when she was swearing. I never saw her smile. The first time I saw her smile was when President John Dramani Mahama was being sworn in.
The law is the law.
She said that, look at the face. I have the picture here. She said the law is the law. No matter the noises you make, the law is the law. So no matter the noises the MPP and their assigns are making, the law is the law. It is there stipulated 146 straight out. The law is the law. The supreme law of the land says ABCD. His Excellency Mahama has not breached any law. 3 people have brought petitions. Apart from the MPP, who else is talking?
I don't understand.
And nobody is talking about this matter. Me, I don't even know why we are using airtime to talk about this matter, not HIV/AIDS killing our young ones.
We shouldn't talk about this.
For what?
When MPP is the biggest opposition party, and they are raising an issue because they say and insist that the processes looks targeted and all that.
Is the woman MPP? I've asked several. Nobody has answered me. Is she a card-bearing member of the MPP?
Why do you say that?
But why are they behaving as if one of their members is in trouble? What? They are behaving as if one of their members is in trouble. That is the way they are behaving. The woman is supposed to be neutral. She's not supposed to belong to any political party. And now the MPP, they are up in arms. They even went on a demonstration. Whilst at the same time, a certain portion of their party members were on a thank you tour. Another portion was on demonstration.
And some of the demonstrators were talking about hardship.
Hardship. At this time, hardship. Can you just imagine? So the point is that you said that people are complaining. Who is complaining? You said people are complaining. Who is complaining? The people who are complaining are the MPP. Be specific. They are the people who are complaining.
It's MPP.
Because they forced the woman to do certain things which was untoward. Roland, sometimes I wondered whether the MPP has something on the woman.
Why do you keep referring to that? Because the MPP is complaining, and so you are questioning why should they be worried about the change?
What is saying? He said that if judgments are skewed towards us,
yes.
Do you get me? Skewed. Who is us?
You're talking about the government at the time.
That is what I am saying. So how come he said that? Because of observation. At least at that point, we had one sane person who thought that I should talk about this. It's possible he envisioned that if something is not done about it, this woman will be in trouble. When I speak, they say she's a woman. So when a woman kills, you don't prosecute that woman.
It's a woman.
I heard so many people that is a woman. Charlotte was a man, eh? Charlotte was a man. Me too. Yes,
why do people keep bringing up the matter?
There's always precedence.
Okay.
There's always precedence. They tell me this is the judiciary, but the EC is the most important body in this nation as far as our democracy is concerned. If the EC is warped, our democracy is warped. When we got it all wrong and mentioned 5 figures in 2020, what happened? 2020, the calculation, the mathematics was wrong. We mentioned 5 figures.
Well, even this year, we still don't know the percentages. So.
We know, we are 38 point something.
But some people say
41. She's still not found the correct. Some say 41.
Do you get me? She didn't even get the results till after 6 days when the political parties have been able to get their results. So that is another matter. So I am saying that the EC, for me, is the most important body as far as our democracy.
And that's where the worry even should have been gone, if anything at all.
That our most, and Charlotte was
not the president, not the head of the judiciary, not the speaker head of the...
You see, Charlotte was removed. Everybody wants to denigrate and say, oh, Charlotte is not like... What do you mean? Instead of MPP apologizing to Charlotte, because their own EC has done worse. Instead of this apologizing to Charlotte, they want to denigrate what happened to Mrs. Charlotte Osei. I mean, there's nothing wrong here. Charlotte was a woman. This woman too is a woman. And now she's going to face the committee. The results has not come out. They have not concluded on any. Why are we trying to preempt that she will be removed?
You think it being preempted?
Because you are praying, everybody says she's removed. So why are they doing demonstrations? If you go before a committee, everybody has gone before one committee or the other. If you go before a committee, does it mean that you are going to be punished? So you should go and talk. I agree. I've said this several, but I agree with Auntie Rodalyn. If she had any integrity in her, she should have resigned.
Maybe she wants to fight her cause because she feels she's...
Fight what?
We're going to fight.
The unanimous FC.
What are you going to fight?
She formed the football club in the judiciary called Unanimous.
Oh, football club. Why do you say some of the things?
Unanimous.
I mean, whenever there was any case, 100% they voted. And when we complained that I think the parliament thing, it was I think 5-0 something.
Then became 5-1 or
5-1 or something like that. So they just whispered into somebody, you just vote again. I mean, this woman hasn't done well at all. She has not done well. Me, my experience with her, she has not done well. She has not treated Ghanaians fairly.
But the law is the law. The law takes
How the law is the law, then let her go through the process. Why are we discussing it?
Roland, do you have a passport?
Yes, I do.
Roland,
How did you get your passport? Nalia, let me ask you. How did you get your passport?
How do I get my...
What process do you go through to get your passport?
Well, so this is my third passport. The first one, I use my birth certificate and those ones. And then the second one...
When you use your birth certificate, it identified you as a Ghanaian, right?
Yeah, because birth.
Yeah, exactly. And she sat there.
Because
this was one woman who was able to actually defend it. That the birth certificate does not show that you're a Ghanaian.
Oh, you're referring to what he said at the vetting?
Yes, yes. I mean, these are things.
I mean, how can you do that?
And this is the Chief Justice of the land.
How can you do that? I'm not a Ghanaian. When I'm born, you are born. Your babies are born at the hospital.
Actually, the Constitution stipulates how you
that
become
gets me. I mean,
everywhere.
If, for example, as stated, per our history, before 1957, if your parents and your genealogy were here, irrespective of whether you're a Ghanaian.
You're a Ghanaian. Yes. You're a Ghanaian.
If you're born of one parentage, you're a Ghanaian.
And then you decide to change the whole thing.
If you have, so if it's indicated in a birth certificate, ideally it should be.
You change it for Ghana.
But the law is the law.
Just because some people wanted to use birth certificates to go and register for voting. If you were not dealing with the other side...
You think some of these actions created the perception?
That's what?
And that is why she...
Everything that she did was like MPP.
Oh, Nania Janto.
I'm telling you, this woman didn't do anything that benefited Ghanaians. She was at the whims of the New Patriotic Party. Everything. Everything that this woman did. And her demeanor. You see, before she became Chief Justice, she was such a nice person.
Very nice person.
I know her.
I don't understand.
Oh, I'm telling you.
She was appeals court judge.
Yes, she was a very nice person. We used to go for peace council programs. We would sit and chat and laugh. When this woman became Chief Justice, she became a monster.
You mean you know her?
Who said I don't know her? She became a monster.
You know people, though.
Me, I've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
I started being around when I was very young.
You keep saying that some of them, as you know them, took you to BNI cells and all.
Yes.
Even though people, you know.
Yes. So I'm telling you that me, I've been around, though. If you go to BNI cells, then you are finished. So the point is that maybe she should go and taste their small and come. So the point is that, the law says, and she has said herself, that no matter what the noises that you make,
the law is the law.
The law is the law. And this is the law, the supreme law of the land. Says that go through this process. Petitions have been brought against you. Whether the petitions are good, whether it has merit, or whether it lacks merit, at the end of the day, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is going through process. He's going through due process.
The law is the law.
The law, as she has said, you should quote her own words. She said the law is the law. No matter the noises that you make, the law is the law. So no matter the noises that the MPP makes, the law is the law. Let's all sit back quietly, fold out our arms, and see how the process will go. Right. It's also a test of our constitution.
Please put the members on the.
It's also a test of our constitution.
What do you make of the members? Domelavo is there. And
these are people who cannot be compromised. You cannot compromise Domelavo. If there's something, there was an audit report concerning some travels and all that.
He flagged it.
Yes. So Domelavo will look at that and explain it to us. Justice Gabriel Scott.
I've known him very well, yeah.
Yes,
very
me, I don't know him, but I know that...
It was my friend when he was...
Yes, I know that he's a very straightforward person. Justice Samuel Edibo, I haven't heard his name before. Daniel Afodom Levo, don't go there. Yes, that one there. Then my professor, Jisa, that one don't go there. He will, I mean...
Scrutinize things.
Everything goes into... When he teaches you, everything goes there. If you don't dot an I, you lose marks. So these are people who are astute.
Okay.
And they will do what is right.
All right.
So I don't think that there's anything wrong with the formation.
I see.
But there's a little thing I forgot when I was talking about Sami Jenfit. You see, you know that we shouldn't joke with it. We should start praying for Sami. Because that woman used some juju on him.
I don't know.
I'm telling you, that woman jinxed Sami.
Are you saying that he used Sami for Sikagari?
No, Sikagari. This one, he jinxed him for him to give him money. To give her money, sorry. This woman jujued Sami, did something to Sami, and I am surprised that it happened at the funeral.
Nana, you asked for evidence.
What about juju? There's no evidence for juju.
Hey.
I used to watch her when she was a prophetess, the fetish priest.
Yes, and she
always says Sikagari. She'll be
yes.
So Joe, you think
what? She'll be bringing
I
don't watch those.
You think she charmed Sami?
She jinxed Sami. She charms because you don't have. There's no evidence to witchcraft. Is there evidence to witchcraft?
I mean, if Nana just said, Nana Grada did Sikagari on
and my biggest worry is the fact that Sami went to the funeral of a big prophet. And I heard that was
Whose prophets?
I heard it was at the funeral of Nigel Gates's father, if I'm wrong.
Okay, you don't know.
Yeah, yes, isn't that?
But that's what you read.
Yes, that is what I read on social. So Nigel Gatesy didn't see that this one was coming.
Also for Nigel Gatesy, was it at your funeral?
You are a prophet.
I know him very well.
Yes, you should protect your own and pray for your own.
One of my
we
prophets.
are all he's your prophet.
Yes,
and this one he didn't see. So now
yes,
we have to all, I'm begging everybody that we should all pray for Sami. We should protect him, pray for him for the future.
The giver is always
Let me say good morning to Prophet El Bernard, one of the great prophets, as well as the Reverend Nkrumah of the Assemblies of God Church, just at Roman Ridge.
Yeah, that's a very great man. A very great man. Yeah.
Okay. Please, we disassociate ourselves from all the remarks about Sikagari and...
You said Sikagari yourself. But witchcraft cannot be proven.
Okay, so I have Samira Ache Ajete says the law is the law.
The law is the law.
And then also Alose Louis says the law is the law. I'm reading from our streamer, so please go there. Brave Pascal says, Roland, you and these women today on the show, dear. And then Lebene Hosanna says, also for Mami Sikagari. Okay. Kirsten Bisnab Asemiga says, Roland, in relation to the birth certificate issue, it just goes to show that we are all not Ghanaians until certified, even if at birth, and you have a document to show. And then Kentinka, I've seen your message as well. Somebody said, hey, Nanaya. Okay, so let me just go to our mainstream and then look at a couple of the messages on the console. So first, all right. Oh, okay. So BT Sly says, I agree with the submission made by Nania Jantua and then Madam Rodeling that Sami was set up by the MPP. All right. And then also Mike Kofi Aflu, a tax expert. Good morning to you. Money ni money says Agrada did Sami Jenfi Sikagari. I think they jail Ghanaians because they should know better and protect their land instead of allowing foreigners to destroy in relation to the Galamsey matter. And Engineer Asamochum is happy with the way the CD is behaving in relation to the dollar. However, he says it must be consistent. Yeah. We should also make sure that we strengthen our manufacturing base and import less and control expenditure. Charlie, engineer talking finance. Everybody has become a finance person today. All right. And I have this one from Ralph. Ralph Nene says that I love the frankness of your panelists today on all the issues. As for Madam Rodalyn, how I wish she is my in-law. You have daughters? He's a young man, so he's a...
Yes, I have a daughter.
You have a daughter. Okay. Ebo Backman, Uncle Watson, then watch it. Tomorrow, I'm sure you'll be here with Joseph Akable. The summary of the entire issue regarding the removal of the Chief Justice is simple. The law is the law. Hey, you people, nothing more, nothing less. No amount of noise making or demonstrations by the MPP can change the law. Let them know that the law is the law. Ebo Backman. Ebo Backman used to be an MPP. We used to do a lot of discussions together. Movement for change.
Movement for change.
Okay. New Dick Ni Atukwekwe says, we thank Jesus, JDM, for telling Sami Jemfi, go and sin no more. We are happy the Ghana city is also faring well within a period where we have a war. The tariff war by Trump and China. In the previous wars, Ghana was suffering. Why is it that two wars are giving us two different results on the same economy? And then the last one we'll read. Well, let me say good morning to a couple of people. A great friend of mine is celebrating the birthday. He is a senior state attorney. He currently is based in the Volta Regional Capital Hall. Andrew Zadugu, legal practitioner. Your wife, Dinah. The kids, myself, everybody, happy birthday to you. And then also Samuel Fabiano, great guy. Happy birthday to you as well. Another great friend of mine and my relative also in Cape Coast, and that is Nana Benin Hazel. You're celebrating your birthday. You live in Cape Coast, the Central Regional Capital. And, well, there's a squad. Justice Senyo Jamesi is one of the 7 who have been nominated by the president. I wish you well, Justice Senyo Jamesi. Good morning to you. Dr. Bright Maudo, good morning to you as well. Dr. Kofi Anoche, good morning. Now, we have cash out. It goes with short code *439#. Make sure as many times as you can, you are in a great position to always choose option 2, increase the number of tickets you have, and you become one of those lucky winners sanctioned by the dashboard. But again, prayed for in Sika Gari terms by Cash Money Cookie. Money will be raining down on you with cash out *439#. All right. More importantly, let me say good morning to Chris Tando as well. Francis Nuje, good morning to you, and Grace Nuje as well. And then Isaac Donko. But let's look at this. Landfills to landmarks. In partnership with the Office of the Minister of State for Climate Change and Sustainability, and also supported by the British Heart Foundation, is presenting a global summit. It is on the 22nd to the 23rd of May this year at Kempinski Hotel right here in Accra. And it's a turning point where we're going to have over 500 global leaders, all in manufacturing, recycling, investment, and policy. They also are going to gather to showcase solutions transforming textile waste into circular economy value, from sorting to retail, for example, carbon credits and green jobs creation. Meet major partners at the event. They're going to come from Europe and Ghana's rising upcycling innovators. Attendance is limited. So this is what you need to do. You have to reserve seats. So those reservations you can do by going to the website landfields2landmarks.com, or you can also call this line 020-50-670-64. All right, and you become one of those lucky winners as well. Thank you, ladies. Beautiful, intelligent ladies as always. I haven't paid you a visit yet, the president. I need to. All right, we're taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you the latest sports headlines. Stay with us. We'll be right back.